Welcome to Science Around the World with Culp and Gold. Today we're going to be talking to you about different types of lab equipment. And by the end of today, you need to be able to say, I can name and define the use of lab equipment. How are you going to do this? I will identify lab equipment and I will explain the use of specific lab equipment. We're going to start today with a graduated cylinder. Now, what a graduated cylinder is used for, it's used to measure specific volumes of a liquid. And what does volume mean?
How much space something occupies.
Okay. Graduated cylinders measure liquids in milliliters.
Notice it's always a lowercase n and a capital L.
Graduated cylinders come in various sizes, and they're made out of glass or plastic.
All right, next we have a microscope. They're used to view objects or specimens that are smaller than the naked eye can see. It was created by Anton van Leeuwenhoek, and it's most often used by biologists in the lab.
Next is a test tube or test tubes. These are used to hold, heat, or mix chemicals. They come in various sizes. They're also made of glass or plastic. And the bottom of the test tube is curved, so you can't just put them on a table. You must store them in what is called a test tube rack.
Now, test tube racks are used to hold or store test tubes because, again, they have a curved bottom, so you have to put it in a stand. They can be made out of wood or plastic, and they come in a variety of sizes and can hold various amounts.
A ruler. Now, how many of you in here know what a ruler is? Okay? But officially, a ruler is used to measure the length of objects and can be used to measure distance as well. Rulers can measure using the metric system, which measures in milliliters.
Oh, milliliters? You mean
Meters,
millimeters,
millimeters, and centimeters. And then we also have the U.S. standard units, which is where we're talking about inches and feet and things like that. So notice that milliliters is
mm, lowercase.
Centimeters.
It's cm, lowercase.
And inches.
in, lowercase. Right, the Erlenmeyer flask is used to hold, heat, or mix chemicals. They're used to measure specific volumes of a liquid. Again, they're measured in milliliters. You notice here in the picture we see the ml as well, and that's lowercase. They have a very unique design. It's very triangular shaped. Here's one in person. Maybe you can see a little bit better than the picture. And they're made of glass. Keep in mind that they're made of glass where you can heat them, and it won't. If you use plastic, it would melt.
Next, we have a thermometer used to measure specific temperatures of a substance. Okay, we're not going to stick our classroom thermometers in our mouth. They measure using the metric system, can be measured in Celsius, and look how we show Celsius. Or standard U.S. standard units, measuring in Fahrenheit, again how we show Fahrenheit. And the thermometers can be either digital or manual thermometers.
In our classes, we're going to typically use Celsius because that's the measurement that's used around the world. So,
Have to use
you
Celsius.
bet, yippee,
Right.
we're going to use Celsius. Hans lens or magnifying glass. They're used to magnify an object, and they can have a glass or plastic lens, various shapes and sizes. We often use these when we're going outside and looking at different plants and substances, so we use this in earth environmental science. Keep in mind, whether it has a glass or a plastic lens, it can scratch, so please be careful.
Next, we have a beaker. We use beakers to hold, mix, and heat chemicals, substances, used to measure specific volumes. What's volume?
Oh, how much space something occupies.
Okay, so it's used to measure specific volumes of a liquid. Measures in milliliters, ml. They come in various sizes. They can be made of glass or plastic. We do have an alert. All right. Do not use a plastic beaker to heat substances, or what will happen?
It will melt.
Oh no! So we don't want to melt anything. No. All right.
And then we have medicine droppers or pipettes. They're used to transfer small amounts of chemicals from one container to the next. Now, a pipette looks a little bit different than the medicine dropper, and it's made of plastic throughout. We'll show you these again tomorrow in class. Various styles. They can be made of glass or plastic. And then alert!
Alert!
Always use a clean or separate medicine dropper for each substance. Very important to use a new or clean one for
Do
each
not
substance.
contaminate
That's
your
right.
medicine dropper.
That's right. No contamination here.
Next, we have a triple beam balance, which we use to measure mass. All right. And all should remember it is measured in grams. They can be electronic or manual. The manual balance is called the triple beam balance, which you have all heard of and seen. So triple beam balance.
And then we have, last but not least, is a hot plate. It's used to heat chemicals or substances. It must be used on a dry and level surface. Please make sure that the table is dry before plugging this in. It is plugged into the wall.
But why?
Because we could get electrocuted, Miss Gold.
Oh, that wouldn't be good.
No, that would not be good. And we want it on a level surface where nothing pours or falls off. Alert!
Alert!
Do not pour or place substances directly on the hot surface of the hot plate. Do not pour or place it directly on there. You want to make sure it's in a beaker or something that's safe to be heated.
Alert!
Do not place your hand directly on the hot plate.
But why?
It's hot.
All right. I hope that everyone can address the I can and I will statements. Remember, you have to be able to say I can name and define the use of each of these pieces of lab equipment. I will identify lab equipment, explain the use of specific lab equipment. If you can't do this, you might want to back up these slides and watch them again.
So have a good day.
Bye.